Happy Monday, everyone. What's up? This is DeAnna Lorraine, and you are on Make Love Great Again on the New Right Network. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, July 2nd already. Can't believe it. It's almost the 4th of July. What the hell? We will be right back. Hang on tight. Don't go anywhere. Just a moment. You will see me in just a second. We're in the middle of a romance apocalypse. There are more single adults than ever before. Marriage is on the decline. The birth rate is at the lowest point in history. People are not connecting and forming real relationships. For the first time in human history, the very concepts of marriage and romance, God, the family, gender, and even our national anthem are under attack. Our American values have been slowly deteriorating and replaced with liberal, progressive values. We're in the middle of not only the romance apocalypse, but a war on our very souls. Speaking the truth is called hate speech. Patriotism is now called racism. Believing in God makes you a bigot. The current state of America is directly intertwined with the current state of our relationships. We are actively enslaving ourselves into a loveless, joyless, genderless future. Men and women of common sense and a moral compass need to wake up to the destructive madness that is being thrust upon us in the name of progressiveness and political correctness, and look ahead to where this ideology and agenda are ultimately taking us. We can make love great again. We can make America great again. But we need to remember who we are. We need to remember the spirit and the values that once made this country and our relationships so great.
This is a struggle for the survival of our nation. And this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy. And we will make America great again.
Yay! Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Hey guys, what's up? It's me again. You're on Make Love Great Again, the place where we discuss how our American values are directly correlated to the state of our relationships and the family unit and the way that men and women interact with each other. And of course, when we have strong families, we have a strong country. I believe, and most intelligent people believe, including our founding fathers, that the strength of a nation is derived from the strength of the family. And one thing that America had that made it so exceptional, and this was also according to Alexander de Tocqueville, who I talk about in my book, who took a trip to America, and he wrote about it. He said that it was, part of what he was just fascinated with America, and he wrote the groundbreaking book, Democracy in America. And what he said in the book was fascinating. He said that part of what made America just so fascinating and exceptional was the fact that the family unit was so strong in America, and that people in the marriage was so strong, and people didn't marry just for a business purpose. They did marry in America for love, and he felt that the way that men treated women and vice versa was actually exceptional as compared to other countries. So, and he also mentioned too that in European countries and many other countries, the family was broken. It didn't have the same strength and love that it had in America. And when you have strong families, then you can go out in the world and be a strong and productive individual in society. and you can bring that source of inspiration and love that you're getting from your home and support, because everything like that happens at home. That support and that inspiration and that energy, it comes from being at home and having a nightly dinner table, a nightly dinner with your family, where you're discussing the events of your day, and you're even bringing your problems, your highlights, as well as your lowlights to the dinner table. And you're getting feedback, you're getting people's weigh in, you're getting your family support, and you can actually work through your problems with your family. That's kind of what the family was supposed to be there for. You know, your family's supposed to be your support system, your therapist, you know, your good guy, your bad guy, your tough love, your great love, all wrapped in one. So what's happening now when people don't have those strong families and support system, this is why they're going out and they're committing these horrible school shootings, right? You think that that person who is a school shooter would come from a strong family? I don't think so. No. Do you think that people that are stealing and doing grand theft auto or murdering or being involved in gangs, do you think that they have strong families and nightly dinners around the dinner table? I don't think so. Do you think people that are, I don't know, out there raping and committing atrocities to women or men, do you think that, I don't know, they have a strong father figure at home smacking them around and saying, look, this is not okay, this is not okay behavior? I don't think so. So we cannot underestimate the strength and the importance of a family unit and having a strong family unit with a mother and a father, not two men, not two women, but a male father and a female mother. Okay? So we can't underestimate it, yet the media constantly underestimates it. The media constantly underestimates the importance of a family, the family being together, family values, and it constantly underestimates the importance of the male being at home, the father being at home. So this is something that needs to be reinforced by people like you and like me, who are truth seekers, who understand the truth, right? And who understand it, who get it, who are on board with it. And they know that the lies of the media have become so corrupt that they will break up the family. Their intention is to break up our country, to have us fighting each other, and to have us men fighting women, homosexuals fighting straights, Asian people fighting white people fighting black people. They want us all fighting and miserable and joyless, just like the opener of my show says, joyless and loveless and even genderless. So that we're not focused on the real enemy. And the real enemy is the corrupt power structure that has been ruling us for the last couple centuries, and especially in America, that has been ruling us for like the last 60 years. Some might call that the deep state, right? So today, I want you guys to, can't wait till you stick around because I have a really, really special show for you. Speaking of working through the lies and the corruption of the power structure, the powers that be, I'm going to have a very special guest on my show. You might know him, and if you don't know him personally, you might know of him. His name is Brandon Straka, and he is the founder of the #WalkAway movement. Woo! Yes, he's the founder of the actual movement, the Walkaway movement, which is just blowing up right now by the millions of people. If you type in #WalkAway in your Twitter, you will see stories, hundreds of thousands of stories that are just pouring in every day with that #WalkAway. People that are just fed up with the lies and the death and destruction of the Democrat Party, and they would call themselves liberals, that are walking away. And they're saying, you know what, this is just enough. I've had it with this hate, the race baiting, the lies, the division that they're constantly spreading. I'm done. I'm out. Peace, Democrat Party, done. So they're walking away, and they're not necessarily 100% on board with the MAGA train yet, because that's kind of a big jump. They're not necessarily calling him a conservative, although many, many are, but I'm saying not everybody is yet. but their eyes are open. They're definitely not a liberal or a conservative anymore, or a Democrat anymore, and they're definitely more than willing to go to the others, to the right side. And that's what's super important. But then again, a lot of people are already saying, I get it. I get the Trump train. I'm on the MAGA train. Woo! All right, so what's up, guys? Let me just look in the chat rooms and make sure all is good and all is well in my Make Love Great Again family, my community. Let's see. Periscope is working. All right, we've got Periscope. We've got YouTube Live. And what's up, everyone in the chat room? We've got DJ in the house. We've got Swimdy in the house. Spanker in the house. Jerry. Tida 1000. Mr. Lint. I'm just reading off all your lovely screen names. Yeah. Cool, guys. We've got people from YouTube Live. We've got people from Periscope. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so just a second, guys. We've got Brandon. Hold on. He is texting me right now. 1000, Mr. Lint. I'm just reading off all your yeah. We've got people from YouTube Live. We've got cool. So if anyone is new to my show, I just wanted to say hi and a huge welcome. And I'm happy that you're here. We're all happy that you're here. Welcome to Make Love Great Again. And you guys can feel free. The way my show works is I go on my little spiels, my monologues, and then I go over news stories of the day and my interview. And I read questions and comments. So if you guys have a question for me or a comment, just feel free to type it in, and I definitely acknowledge most comments and questions. Gwyneth says, thank you for sharing the hashtag walkaway movement. This is just as much a support group as it is unifying. Yes, absolutely. It's just, yeah, welcome. Everyone give the newcomers a big welcome. It's crazy because he will be joining us in a moment, but it's something that I've been wanting to do with feminists, right? Or that I have been doing, that you don't have to be a woman and be a feminist or declare yourself as a feminist. Because what feminism has morphed into is a party of also hate and division and constant male bashing, misandry and hypocrisy and lunacy, and women are running around with vagina hats on their head. That should be a party that I don't think any woman should want to be a part of. Unfortunately, the brainwashing is so strong. It's just so strong. We need to wake people up as much as possible. My prayer is always that we wake people up and that we that more people get awakened. And I do believe that we are in this great awakening right now. Now, this is what I put in my book, and if you don't have my book, it's Making Love Great Again, The New Road to Reviving Romance and Winning at Relationships, and it is available on Amazon. But I'm just going to read a quick passage of my book because this is very relevant. So Abraham Lincoln wisely forewarned a century and a half ago that if America were to ever fall, it would not be by external means or even by internal collapse. No, rather it would be by Americans themselves. Stupid Americans. Here are Lincoln's chilling words in the Lyceum Address in 1838. Shall we expect some transatlantic military giant to step the ocean and crush us at all blow? No, never. All the enemies of Europe, Asia, and Africa combined, with all the treasure of the earth, our own excepted, in their military chest, with a Bonaparte for commander, could not by force take a drink from the Ohio, or make a track on the Blue Ridge, in a trial of 1,000 years. At what point then is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reach us, it must spring out amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction is our lot, we must ourselves be its author and its finisher. Ooh. As a nation of free men, We must live through all time or die by suicide. Crazy, right? I believe this is what they meant when they warned of destruction from within. If we continue on this path, we are committing suicide for our country. We are actively enslaving ourselves into a loveless, joyless, genderless future. Men and women of common sense and a moral compass need to wake up to the destructive madness that is being thrust upon us in the name of progressiveness and political correctness, and look ahead to where this ideology and agenda are ultimately taking us. Progressives, they have ignited class wars, gender wars, wars between women, wars between races and sexualities. They don't actually want us united, folks. Wake up. They don't want us getting along. They don't want us having joy in marriages and families and strong relationships. Then we wouldn't have something to fight about or complain about. Then we would be so focused on ourselves and needing a savior, the government, aka, to depend on. We would depend on our relationships, our family, and our lives if we didn't have all this fighting. I don't have time to deal with all the other wars right now, at least not for now. But what I do have time to focus on is the most important thing right now going on, which is the war between the sexes. Now, anyone can see that there's, so much truth to those statements and so much truth to what Abraham Lincoln said, that it will not come. The destruction of America. America was built so strong. Our founding fathers created such a beautiful system and confirmation and such a beautiful system and constitution, right? That it can't be broken. I mean, it's unmatched. So however, if it's going to destroy, it's going to be from the decimation from within. It's going to be suicide. And that is what the left is doing. It's trying to get us to, commit suicide, basically. And all these useful idiots are all just part of the problem, carrying the water for them. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. That's why how you fight them is by letting them undo themselves. But we just can't be part of the suicide, right? We cannot be part of it. So, by the way, if you have not seen this video yet, you should definitely see it. Have you guys seen the plan for Q to save the world? Have you guys seen this yet? It's awesome. It's really cool. I'm just going to show you 2 minutes of it, and then we're going to get on with our interview with Brandon. So just hold on 1 second. This is really, really pretty cool. We're just going to watch 2 minutes of it, and then we'll watch Brandon's. Okay. This is cool, guys. If you haven't seen it, I love it.
Have you ever wondered why we go to war? Or why you never seem to be able to get out of debt? Why there is poverty, division, and crime? What if I told you there was a reason for it all? What if I told you it was done on purpose? What if I told you that those who were corrupting the world, poisoning our food, and igniting conflict were themselves about to be permanently eradicated from the earth? You might think that an idealistic fantasy. Well, let me tell you a story. We acknowledge there are criminals, of course. They rob your house, they steal your phone. They can murder you too if they think they can get away with it. We have all experienced criminals in one way or another. Criminals, as we know, are those who choose personal gain over the rights of others and have no regard for the law. But here is where you need to expand your thinking.
Expand your thinking.
Criminals can also succeed in business and politics and can be elected as our leaders. If a criminal became the president, imagine what they could achieve. They could use the full weight of their executive power to commit much larger crimes and ensure they and their friends were enriched to the fullest extent possible. A a criminal president could create alliances with other criminal presidents and then collaborate on more global criminal activities. Anything goes. Drug running, human trafficking, whatever makes the big bucks. The 20th century was turbulent with war, economic disaster, famines, and displacement. We have always accepted these things as just human nature, and simply the way the world works. Something inevitable, and due to the weaknesses of human...
Okay, you guys got to watch this video. It's called Q, the Plan to Save the World, and you can find it on YouTube. Very cool video. It's about 12 minutes long, 13 minutes, and it's eye-opening and very moving, and it's a great video to show other people too, to red pill them and get them on the path to waking up and denouncing their sheepleness. Okay? Hearts to those in Periscope and YouTube. Thank you guys for the hearts. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, everyone. Awesome, guys. Okay, cool. So now we're going to get into the interview with Brandon, but I want to show you real quick. We're going to watch this video real quick. This is the guy that's going to be on the show and is just waiting in the green room right now, the electronic green room. Look at this. This is so cool. I love it. Why I left the Democrat Party. This guy is awesome.
Well, to be honest, less than a year ago, I was still a liberal. I became a liberal because I felt I'd found a tribe whose values aligned with my own. I staunchly reject racism of any kind. I reject the marginalization of any human being based off of their gender or sexual orientation. I reject tyrannical groupthink. I reject a system which allows an ambitious, misinformed, and dogmatic mob to suppress free speech, create false narratives, and apathetically steamroll over the truth. I reject the acceptance of junk science and superstition to advance ideological agendas.
Yeah.
I reject hate.
Woo!
These are the reasons why I became a liberal. And these are the same reasons why I am now walking away.
Yeah.
For years now, I have watched as the left has devolved into intolerant, inflexible, illogical, hateful, misguided, ill-informed, un-American, hypocritical, menacing, callous, ignorant, narrow-minded, and at times, blatantly fascistic behavior and rhetoric.
Yes.
Liberalism has been co-opted and absorbed by the very characteristics it claims to fight against. For years now, I've watched as people on the left have become anesthetized to their own prejudices and bigotry, and the prejudices and bigotry of those around them who echo their values.
Yes. Okay, cool. So we've all seen this video, I think, now. Now let's get the man behind the video on, shall we? Just a moment. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Hey, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So just a second.
Today got insane.
Yeah?
Yeah. So sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I heard from Diamond and Silk.
Diamond and Silk, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, just 1 second. I'm just gonna lower my lighting a little bit because it's super light.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. There we are. Can everyone see and hear us okay? All right. Awesome. We're getting confirmations here. Hey, let us know in the chat room too if you guys hear an echo, which sometimes happens with the interviews. Just let me know in the chat room that you hear an echo, and then we will put on headphones. All right, cool. Sweetness. Okay, so
was there an audience before when I was talking?
About Diamond and Silk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just you and me. Oh
Sorry.
my God, I'm so embarrassed. Okay.
No, they were saying congratulations in the chat rooms.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I don't usually talk about things until they're confirmed. But sorry, I thought it was private. Sorry.
Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. They're happy for you. Hey, look, Brandon, you are my new hero.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that you are a lot of people's new hero. So,
wow.
So exciting. How did you come up with this idea? I want to ask you a million questions, but let's just start with, how did you come up with the idea for this incredible video?
For the video?
Yeah.
Well,
Or you can take it further back than that too, because, right, it's your life story. It's your actual experience.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, I was a lifelong Democrat, liberal. I'm a gay man, so that's sort of like the expectation. That's what you're supposed to do.
Darn it, you're such a handsome gay man. Why?
And yet I still don't have a boyfriend.
What?
But I know. Maybe that's what this show should be about.
He's single, guys. He's single. I'm sure you'll have a boyfriend very soon.
We'll see. All right. So yeah. So I always voted Democrat because that's what I was supposed to do. And I was a liberal because that's what I was supposed to do.
Because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's like if you're black, if you're gay, if you're Hispanic, and I mean, it's really funny. I mean, even you should know if you're a woman. You guys are, I think you're more than 50% of the population, but you're considered a minority, and shame on you for not voting for Hillary Clinton.
If I don't vote for Hillary, do you know how many names I got called? Like, I should give my vagina away. I'm not a real woman. I'm a misogynist. Right. I'm a sexist. I'm like, how can I be a misogynist if I'm a woman? But whatever.
Right. Well, you should at least wear a vagina on your head.
Yeah.
That'll fix everything.
That'll fix everything, right. That'll fix all the world's problems.
Right. So that's the camp that I always found myself in for a long time. And, when we find ourselves in these tribes, I think, then you end up that's where you get your information. That's where you get your news. And those are the sources that you trust, like the people who are in your tribe and, the news for my tribe, the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC. Now, I always was sort of operating under the belief system that those entities were very, very truthful and honest, and they had my best interest at heart. Mm-hmm. And entities like Fox News were evil and horrible, and they told everything they said was a lie.
Wow.
And, and that they were spreading propaganda designed to do harm to people like me or minorities in America. I mean, it's just the whole narrative of, if you're not a liberal, you're a racist, you're a bigot, whatever. But I watched for years as these social, cultural norms changed and shifted. And, they weren't really that great to begin with. But I mean, particularly, it's almost hard to pinpoint now, but I feel like in my memory, and other people might have had a different experience, but in my memory, I feel like it was really around like 6 years ago, which maybe, a couple years possibly into the Obama administration, that these things, we really started to hear all the time about privilege and victimization, and I started to see the conversations change in ways that I thought were just so incredibly bizarre. I mean, It was like you could be a white person who was dirt poor, who came from an alcoholic, abusive father in a trailer park, whatever, and but it's like you're still more privileged than Oprah Winfrey because she's a black woman. So it's like you could never know what Oprah goes through because it's like, what?
Yeah.
And we started to kind of lose like the individual. We stopped looking at people's individuals and we started looking at them as identity, as types, as your group, your classification. And it started to get so ugly. It started to become like, well, if you're a white person, you shouldn't even be talking right now. If you're a man, you shouldn't even be talking right now. And, with your heteronormative privilege and stuff. And I'm just like, how is this helpful?
Yeah, it's not at all helpful. And it's not at all uniting for the country or spreading love. No. It's just like divide, divide, divide.
Right. And, like as a gay man, I actually found it sort of a combination of really embarrassing and also dangerous. Like, because I would see people in the LGBT community constantly like just pushing this narrative of, you know, and listen, I want to be clear about this. Like, we have gone through some struggles for sure in the gay community. Like, I don't want to downplay that. I don't want to pretend like that never happened. I was a part of trying to, you know, fight for gay rights and marriage equality. These are all things that I stand for and I believe in. However, I mean, in my mind, in 2015, the Supreme Court ruled that marriage equality was the law of the land in the United States. And in my mind, I thought, wow, we've crossed this major finish line. Like, we did it. Let's have a party.
Yeah, you know? Let's live our life now.
Let's live our life. We won.
Yeah.
We won. But no, I mean, it was like immediately when that happened, the next thing that happened is we start adding more and more letters to that acronym. We're now LGBTQIAA. You know, and the reason that they do this is because they have to have more victim class, and they have to put them. They have to tie them together with us, so that because people are already used to saying like, I support the LGBT community. I support, you know, like more and more people came to our side. Well, so we have to start tagging on extra letters so that people know it's the LGBTQIAA, you know, community that's being oppressed.
It's to make up new forms of victimhood, new groups of oppression, right? So that there's always something to fight about. There's always something to complain about and focus on.
Yes.
And instead of just focusing on loving each other and blending in and, you know, living life, having families, being Americans.
But I think it's even a little bit more nefarious than that because, you know, I think now what I refer to as the oppression industry. I think it's an industry. You know, I mean, there are. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You
say it. Like, this is like the PC free zone in here, FYI.
I'm just going to say it. You know, entities like the Human Rights Campaign or GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Anti-Defamation League, or whatever they're called. They're out of a job if they don't continue making people believe that they're constantly in danger and constantly fear-mongering. You know, and this is all tied together with the liberal media as well. The liberal media needs to constantly tell their base that they're in danger, your rights are in danger, they're out to get you, you're only safe here with us, you know? So they're literally taking people's legitimate fears and traumas and concerns, and they are manipulating them to keep people glued to those television sets or to keep people writing donation checks to the organizations. But you know, on a personal level, if we make it personal for a second, right after marriage equality passed, like I said, I was like, yay, we won, great, let's have a party. And I remember I was it was the Huffington Post.
Good old Huffington Post that always race baits and everything.
Those good people at the Huffington Post. So the Huffington Post used to have a designated area that they called the Huffington Post Gay Voices. And that in itself was already horrifying because do you think that they did, you know, articles about, you know, positive influences in the gay community or ways we can come together as a community? No, I mean, it was literally like, I don't know how X-rated your show gets, so I'm going to keep it clean, okay?
It's pretty X-rated. You can do it, say whatever.
Well, I mean, like they would just run articles constantly about, you know, like 20 ways to make fisting more pleasurable.
Oh,
you know?
I know.
And I'm like, this is who we are. These are gay voices. This is like what our community is. Yeah. And so then they decided to change their name to Huffington Post Queer Voices. And I was just like, okay, because first of all, once again, that's another tactic that people use to try to further the victim narrative of the gay community. Because what is queer? Like, how do we even what does it mean to be queer? Well, I mean, because we know what gay is. We know what lesbian is. That makes sense. We even know what transgender is. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
What is queer? You tell me what queer means.
Questioning. You can fit so many people under these umbrellas now of LGBTQIA. It's like, okay, well then everyone except for a small sliver. And,
Precisely.
And you know, we've come a long way. I think pretty much everyone I know is tolerant and accepting of gays and everything. We have love for everyone. But it's one thing to have that, and they do have you have every right and opportunity now, as everyone does in America. But it's a shoving of an agenda down everyone's throats, and it's the kind of trying to actually demonize heterosexuals and making it seem like heterosexuality is actually the weird thing, like that's the norm. That's not the norm, and everything under the LGBTQIA umbrella is the norm. That's what I think a lot of people are starting to have a problem with.
Yeah, understandably. I mean, it's like, did all of these queer people forget that they had straight parents who made them. I mean, heterosexuality is kind of important.
Yeah, it's kind of important in our society, yeah.
Kind of necessary, yeah. But anyway, so Huffington Post changed this to Queer Voices, and I was just like, I've had it with these people. So they posted a post saying, you know, we've made this decision. We understand that not everyone will like or support us, but basically this is the way it is, so get over it. Yeah. So under it, I wrote a comment saying, and it was so kind and respectful what I said. I just said, listen, for those of us, for certain gay people who grew up in a certain time or a certain geographical location, that word has a very negative connotation. And for many of us, that's the word that we heard right before we were exposed to acts of extreme violence or something terrible. This is not a word I don't want to be referred to as queer. I don't want to be called that. I don't know many professional, you know, gay doctors, gay lawyers who want to be called a queer doctor. Yeah. I mean, it's low rent, it's derogatory, it's embarrassing. Yeah. You know, so I'm saying this. So I wrote this comment and I got barraged with social justice warriors, people fighting me back, saying, well, of course you feel that way with your gay male privilege. But they're like, you know, try being a gender non-binary person, try being gender fluid, try being a black lesbian. And I was like, is this a joke? Like, is this seriously, is this what it is? And then the Huffington Post got me banned from Facebook for writing my comment. Banned. I got banned for 7 days from Facebook for my comment because I said I don't want to be called queer. I, as a gay man, don't want to be called queer, and that got me banned from Facebook. That's incredible. That's just, we've gone way, way off the deep end. And because there's all these victimhood groups. I'm just going to actually show people real quick this atrocity that is called the privilege hierarchy. I don't know if you guys... I put that in my video. I think I've never heard of it. Like, it doesn't get more deranged than this, you know? Like, I mean, I was looking at it, and I thought this has to be a joke, right? It's not a joke. I mean, it's not a joke. They're giving this, what, in college classes or high school classes and whatnot? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's probably required reading in kindergarten now. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and it's not at all a joke. I'm trying to find this a bigger well, piece. It is a joke, but it's not meant to be. It's a joke, but it's not meant to be. There's like 80 different or 40 different privileges in order of privilege, and yes. Okay, there's black demi boy, trans, black trans demi boy, and the other thing is half 89% of these genders, if not more, are just made up now. You know, I don't know what a demi boy is. What is it? Half boy, half animal? Like a goat or something? I don't know. I can't help you. A demi boy? Come on. Let's at least live in reality. I mean, they're going to start making demi cat a gender? I mean, you can't even get through half of this privilege hierarchy without busting out laughing. I mean, how do they teach this with a straight face? And it's no wonder our society is in ruins right now, and why everyone's fighting each other, because they're always instigating these fights. But you know what's so funny too is that the same people who propagate these things, the privilege hierarchy, and who try so desperately to convince you that this is very real and it's very important, these are the same people who are super ultra protective in this really ridiculous way of black people and whatnot. So if you told them you felt transracial, they would burn you at the stake. Like Rachel Dolezal, who's a white woman who says, I feel like a black woman. Yeah. They are ready to come to her house with torches and pitchforks and burn her house to the ground. Really? But, yeah. Because you've got the chart in front of you. Look at how far down on the list black people are. I mean, it's if you're a black woman, I mean, you're just a step above a raccoon, in our society, basically. I mean, it's it's like a dog, and then it's just ridiculous. It is. So, plus, who says this? Who made this up? Obviously, some guy, some social justice warrior, some Marxist made this up. It was hey, you need to enforce this as if it's law. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to recognize this it's valid. I choose not to. I choose to decline. Well, and then it's like you have to ask yourself, why is this so important to them? Why is this so important? Because if you have someone, let's just say, for instance, someone like Candace Owens, who's a Black woman, who will say, I'm not a victim, and I don't subscribe to this, and that's not where I fall on the privilege hierarchy list. They won't say, oh, you would think their goal would be, let's liberate these victims and make sure they're not victims. But they don't celebrate people like Candace Owens saying that, you know, she's not a victim. They're like, she's a token, she's an Uncle Tom, she's, you know, and me too, you know, because as a gay man, I'm supposed to stay in my little victim box, and, you know, but I don't feel like, I mean, and look at what's happening to me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I came out as conservative, I made this video, and I've never in my life received so much love and support. And it's all coming from people on the right. And it's like, you know, I get these wonderful experiences of getting to talk to people like you, and getting to talk to, you know, all these amazing and fascinating people across the country who do not care. Do you care that I'm gay?
No, I mean, I don't care.
Are you freaky? Are you able to get through this interview?
Yes.
I mean, like,
nobody, I think people are starting to understand that nobody really on the right cares about gay or not. We care about being a decent, respectful human being, and respectful to your country, respectful to other people, and that's it, you know? Believe in the good of our country, and that's it. Yeah, but it's like, you know, I think the whole victim thing has become a total identity for some of these people. Yes.
And they don't want it taken away from them. I mean, it's almost like, I liken it to an addiction.
Yes.
Because it's like, if you take an addict and you take their drugs away, you're going to start hearing some really ugly and nasty things, and, you know, leveled at you. And it's the same thing. I mean, if you go to one of these leftist minorities, like a leftist gay person or a leftist lesbian or a Black person or whatever, and you tell them, look, the only thing holding you back is you.
Yes.
Like, go live your life, go do your thing. People actually want you to. It doesn't benefit anybody if you fail. We are not better off as a people if you fail. We don't want you to fail.
Yeah.
But you tell them that, and you watch them freak out and spiral. I mean, like, because they need to believe that the odds are stacked against them, that, you know, that they're being oppressed. It's part of their identity. They can't fathom a world in which that's actually not true, and that maybe they have to try. Maybe they have to actually, you know, be proactive with their life.
Right.
You know?
Well, but they're taught, like, at such a young age, this victim politics, this victim indoctrination starts so young now, which is very scary. And then it molds their brain into thinking that they're a victim. And it's kind of like, have you seen the movie The Exorcist?
Like 97 times.
Yeah, 97 times. Okay, it's kind of, I'm seeing the Democrats for what they are now, and it's kind of like you like spray holy water on the demon, and it like starts shrieking and like screaming and projectile vomiting. That's how I feel like the Democrats are acting right now. It's like we're spraying holy water on them, aka truth, and they're just like they're like spewing all sorts of nasty things and everything, like just like self-destructing. It's kind of comical when you can start seeing it from this perspective with a fresh set of eyes.
It is comical, but it's also incredibly dangerous, as we know, and it's very bad for you know, our relations with each other as people. But at the same time, I can't lie. You know, I created this movement, the Walk Away campaign, and it's part of me is like, you know what, Maxine Waters, keep talking. Please keep talking, because every time she opens her mouth, I get 10,000 new members.
That's so amazing. You know? She's helping your campaign. She's helping.
She's doing more PR than, and you know, I haven't even had to hire a PR firm. I just like they keep giving Maxine Waters a microphone, and I'm watching my membership go like this.
That's amazing. Now, because you saw, like, I mean, I was at the Gay Pride Parade a couple weeks ago just to do some like kind of undercover interviews. And it was also, too, the thing is, it seems like their identity is now all about just open, it's like vulgar sexuality and like, let's see how like dirty and vile, like sexually we can get. There are people walking around with like ball gags and assless chaps, but then they're bringing their kids there too, saying it's a place for kids. And I'm like, okay, is this really like the gay identity right now? Why can't you just be a normal person who happens to be gay in society instead of like having to be this like over sexual, blatantly flamboyant gay, you know?
Well, I think this is just my opinion, but I think the reason that it's gone so far in that direction is, once again, to continue the narrative of victimization, because as gay people have become more and more kind of like a normal part of everyday life and culture, and nobody really cares.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how do you have a successful kind of like gay pride movement when it's just bunch of people, you know, like who look like normal people, and everyone's gonna be like, I don't understand, what is the purpose of this parade? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it's like that's another thing, you know, with the LGBTQ blah blah blah. I saw something recently where they had added the letter K for kink.
Kink?
The kink
God.
community. And I was like, wait a minute, so your sexual fetish is now considered like an immutable trait for which you are oppressed.
Right.
No, because you like to wear a leather harness and a ball gag, you're now considered an oppressed class of American citizen. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't either. I also hear that they were going to add a P for I think not for pedophilia, but for what do they call it? Underage attraction, or it's a U. They're sort of reversing the word, but they're changing the term to like underage attraction.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, you can Google it. It's very creepy.
That's horrible. No, yeah. I didn't know that, and I think that's like next level.
Yeah, that's next level. I'll send you some articles on that because it's creeps. So,
but you know, even if we discussed like, because I think I didn't even know this. A friend of mine, you know, I've made a lot of friends now who are gay conservatives, and recently I was speaking with one of them, and he sent me. Well, he was talking about an article he had read, and I didn't believe him when he told me. I was like, this is too far. You're clearly making this up. He was like, I swear to God, I'll send you the article. I had no idea. There are several, well, it's more than several. I think there's more than 20, at least, states in the United States right now where, I don't even want to say gay activists, let's say leftist gay activists have been fighting to overturn laws in which you can prosecute somebody if they intentionally give you HIV.
Oh, yeah.
Now, oh, you've seen this?
California overturned it last year. So I don't know why they would do that, but it used to be a felony if you intentionally gave someone HIV. In California last year, without very many people knowing about it, they overturned the law. So now it's not a felony to intentionally give someone STDs. Because
they claim they want to destigmatize the, you know, the stigma for against people with HIV. Fine. I think that there are ways that we can address, you know, destigmatizing how we treat people with HIV.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that, and it literally is this extreme, because this exact example, which I'm about to give you, literally did happen and literally did go to court. There was a man on the social media hookup apps like Grindr or whatnot. He was going around meeting people on Grindr, and some of them did their due diligence and said, look, I don't want to have unprotected sex with you. I want to make sure that I remain healthy, whatever. So they used a condom, but he intentionally broke a hole in the condom.
Wow.
And they contracted HIV. Now, they did everything within their power, short of abstinence, to protect themselves, but this person intentionally did this to them, and now that's not prosecutable, because we need to protect the HIV community at the expense of gay people who are doing what they can to keep themselves healthy.
Right, gay
like,
innocent
now more
people.
Of a priority.
It's so backwards, the left. The left, like, rewards criminals and punishes the innocent.
It's insane.
It is insane. I'm so grateful for your campaign that you're waking people up to this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and the words in your video, I had to watch your video several times in a row because they were so powerful. I mean, you just came up with everything yourself. I mean, they're obviously from the heart and they're true.
I did. I'm a runner, and usually I get my best ideas when I'm out running. That's when I'm kind of in my zone and I'm meditating, and the ideas kind of start flowing in my head. And see, I had known for months that I wanted to start making videos, and because I was very inspired by other people on YouTube, who have either told their red pill stories or just speak out against social justice warriors, speak out against the left.
Right.
And I thought, I was like, I'm a person, I have an acting background, I'm comfortable on camera, I'm comfortable getting in front of people, and I feel like I'm a good writer. I feel like I'm a good communicator, and I thought, this is something I really should do. but I waffled about it for months because I was afraid. You know, I thought this is going to, one way or another, this is going to change my life if I put this out there. And it's very, very likely that it's going to change my life for the worse, not necessarily for the better. And so I was trying to figure out how am I going to say this and what am I going to say? Because a lot of people who do these videos and put themselves out there, they kind of come from the outrageous shock. You know, like I was like, I don't want to be like Milo, which is, I love Milo and I appreciate Milo for what he is, but I feel like there's a different approach, and I feel like taking a different approach could kind of tap into a different market, if you will. Because I feel like the type of people that Milo attracts with his style are people who are really fed up and are kind of like just enjoy watching somebody kind of shred the left, you know, and just are like kind of laughing and but then that becomes like, you know, then you've just got two sides coming at each other, and there's not really much room for growth in the center or healing in the middle. And I thought, like, there's got to be a different way that I feel like maybe I could utilize, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, what is it? How, you know, how do I say what I have to say that will also come across in a way that people are going to want to embrace it, and it'll also seem reasonable, and it will seem kind. And one day I was out for a jog after I'd been spending literally like months trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do this? I was out for a jog, and it was just like it hit me like a thunderbolt. In my mind, I heard, once upon a time, I was a liberal. And I kind of just got chills, and then it just started writing itself in my mind. And I was like, okay, as soon as I get home, I'm going to sit down. And I sat down. I wrote the whole thing in one draft in 40 minutes.
Wow.
And and I mean, and it's long. I mean, it takes like 6.5 minutes to recite it.
But every word, like, I wouldn't chop out any word because every word is so powerful and true.
Thank you. So I wrote it all down, and I looked at it, and I thought, I think this is really good, you know. But the thing is, you know, I've thought that about a dozen other things I've done in my life that nobody cared about. You know, I was like, I've written shows, I've done, you know, and no one showed up, and, you know, and I was like, God, I thought that was such a good show.
Yeah.
So I read it to several of my friends. Their jaws were on the floor, and they were like, this is incredible. Like, trust your gut. This is incredible. You know, but still, I was kind of like, I don't know. I was like, I'm going to do it. But, you know, I was like, I don't have any way of really knowing for sure that anyone's going to really care. And I did it with the thought in my mind that, okay, it's very likely I'll put it out there. 50 people total might see it over the course of a year. And those 50 people will probably all hate it. And given my luck, they will all be people who are in, you know, the casting industry. So every time I go on an audition, they'll be like, "Oh, that's that Nazi kid. Like, you know, we're not casting him."
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? This is really important. It's what I'm saying is true, and it's important. And so I kind of ripped the Band-Aid off, and I made the video, and I did it, and then I added the supporting footage and clips into it. And the rest is history. I mean, it really, really, thank God, it did resonate with people, and in a positive way.
So did you just release it on YouTube and then it went viral, or like, did you, I mean, I don't know. So it just picked up within a couple days?
Right. So what happened was I decided that, and if I were being perfectly honest with you, I think that there was a little bit of, you know, an ounce of cowardice in there too, because I thought to myself, I want to release this video, but I don't want to be alone. You know, like, I want people to join me. So I was like, maybe there's the potential here to not just make this about what I have to say, but actually kind of build a movement around it. Because I know there are other people who feel like I feel. I know that there are a lot of other people who are totally fed up and they're totally ready to walk away. And so I thought, well, you know, and I say that, and that was written in my original draft. And I encourage all of you to do the same, walk away. That's how the video ends. And I thought, well, that's it. I think that's the catchphrase, I think, for what could potentially be a movement. I said, I think we need to get people to walk away. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to create a walk away campaign, and I'm going to encourage other people to make their own videos and tell their own stories about why they're walking away. So I launched it on Facebook. I did put a copy of the video on YouTube, and at the end of the video, it says, you know, for more information, go to Facebook. My handle on Twitter and Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook is at US Minority, which is for my pseudonym the unsilent minority.
The unsilent
so on that
minority.
page, the unsilent minority. And so on that page, I started explaining to people this idea for this campaign. And then I created a page, the Walk Away Campaign Facebook page. And people started entering into the page. And I'd say within the video itself grew, how do I say, steadily, but slowly. It's not like I released it and got 1 million views in the first 2 days. You know, I mean, it took about a week for me to get 20,000 views, which I was thrilled when I had 200 views.
Yeah.
I was like, 200 people watched my video. Oh my God. I was like thrilled.
Yeah.
And then of course now it's at like 6 million or something. But
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But the video kind of included some information about where they should go to find out more about the campaign. And then people started joining the campaign. And for the first few weeks, nobody was really leaving videos or, you know, and I kept going on there and being like, guys, it's a video testimonial campaign. Tell your stories. Come on. I like, you're the silent majority. This is the deal. I'm trying to make you unsilent. Like, it's time to get in touch with your voice. It's time to take the narrative back.
Break it out.
Because that's the thing about the campaign. It's not just people on the left who are walking away and telling their stories. It's a testimonial campaign also for people on the right, for them to take their voice back and take their narrative back. Because for so long, the left has controlled this narrative that people on the right are all racists, they're all bigots, they're all homophobes, they're all... So, and that also sends the message to the people on the left, if they're gay, if they're black, that they're not wanted over there. Like, you can't go over there, you can't vote Republican, you can't be on the right, you can't be a conservative because they hate you, they don't want you. So I was like, you know, people on the right, come on, this is your chance. Just take your phone, stick it in your face, and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm a conservative, and you've probably heard that I'm a racist and a bigot, whatever. That's not true. I actually, you know, I'm none of those things, and in fact, this is what I am. And, you know, to all the minorities out there, the gay people, the black people, whatever, there's a seat at the table for you here on the right. We want you here. You know, this is what I wanted to accomplish. But it was, so I'm not known for being the most patient person in the world, so
neither am I.
So I had to sort of like, you know, consult with friends of mine and be like, why aren't they making videos? Like, why aren't people participating? I don't understand. People are just like, just keep reminding them. Just keep reminding them to be patient, you know? So I was fine. So I would go on there and I would make another live video and I'd be like, still waiting on everyone to get started with their videos. You know,
come on, people.
We're really ready, you know? But then it happened. One day it happened. And one of the first ones, it wasn't the very first one, but one of the first ones was by a woman named Libby. And Libby is now a friend of mine. She's now actually the head moderator of the Walk Away Campaign Facebook page. She made the first video that I thought really, really represented what this campaign was about. She is someone who was, I don't even know if she would refer to herself as red pilled, but she was woken up recently to the truth about what's going on the left and all the divisiveness and the identity politics and the vitriol and the hatred. And, you know, she said, I've always been a liberal and my husband's always been a liberal. But, you know, for the last couple of years, we started to see things and hear things that didn't feel right to us. They didn't make sense. And she said, you know, by the time we got to 2016, my husband was a Trump supporter and he voted for Trump. Now, I believe she did not. But people who have known them their entire lives, this couple turned on them, started calling, and in her video, she said, my husband is a veteran. My husband is one of the kindest, you know, best men that I've ever known. And she was like, to hear people call my husband a Nazi, a bigot, a racist. She said, the word she used, it gives me chills when I say it. She said, it is life altering. I get tears in my eyes every time I say that. But it's, you know, because these are good people that are having their character assassinated. By people on the left simply because they won't comply with what people on the left want them to do. And not only will they not comply, but they won't comply with something that's not even based on something that's true or something that's good. You know, I mean, listen, if we legitimately did have a Nazi in the White House who legitimately was staffing his administration with white supremacists, then
yeah, we should be rebelling.
Yeah.
We should all be resisting, and we should be fighting back. But that is not what is happening. It's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's a lie perpetuated by the mainstream media, and it's believed by people on the left.
Yes.
And they have used these lies to just destroy people and destroy their character, and to create so much hatred and division in our country.
Yeah.
And so that's what my campaign's about. My campaign's about giving the power back to the people, giving them their voice back, and giving them the opportunity to set matters straight, clear things up, tell the truth, say, look, these are my core values. This is who I am. These accusations that you're leveling against me are not true. That's not who I am. And in fact, I want America to heal again.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not the one like Maxine Waters calling for people to circle around people in parking lots and gas stations and threaten them and intimidate them.
Yeah.
We want America to heal.
Yeah.
That's what the campaign is about.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because, yeah, I think it's really good that that you're really clear about what the campaign is about, so that people know that those who are leaving the Democrat Party, who have been on the left, they can make their videos, but also people who would say that they're already a conservative or they're already on the right, they make their video testimonial too.
Yes.
And then that, like, when there's thousands of these videos pouring in, how can people deny these people after so many repetitious videos saying, I'm not a Nazi, this is my character, I'm a good person, I want America to heal? There's power in numbers.
Yes, and they can't.
Yeah.
They can't. Which is why, by the way, I think that at this point, they have had such a difficult time pushing back against my campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable. I get thousands of messages. Probably, I mean, I definitely get hundreds of messages daily, and I've gotten, at this point, tens of thousands of messages.
Wow.
And they are 99% positive. More than that. They're more than that. Because I rarely get, I've only gotten, really, to be honest with you, a handful of real true like hate messages or pushback, because if you watch my video, and for anyone who hasn't, I really recommend that you do.
Yes.
I crafted it in such a way that it's like, how could you watch that video and then use the usual tactics? Because the usual tactics are, well, you're just a bigot, you're just a whatever.
Yeah, shame.
Shame, exactly. But in that video, I just literally blew the roof off of all of that. And I made it so impossible. I made it impossible for anyone to use that tactic without appearing to be exactly what I just described in the video.
Yes.
It's like, if you're going to watch my video and then combat it by saying, well, you're just a white supremacist, then all you can do is laugh and be like, you are exactly what I just described.
Yeah, thank you for proving your point.
Thanks for proving my point, and this is why everyone is sick of you.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love it. It's irrefutable. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've just been sharing your video to because sometimes people will, I hate it, but I do get into little Facebook or Twitter wars with leftists that just have nothing to say but you're a Nazi and everything. And so lately I've just been posting your video, no comment, just posting your video to their reply. And then there's just crickets after that, yeah, what's up? Or they'll do the same. You're a Nazi. I'm like, yeah,
right.
Okay, this is part of it. And then I'll screen capture. I'm like, see, this is part of it. Why we're all sick of you. Delusional
the one
people.
way that they've tried to get clever is by, and even this hasn't really taken off, but they've tried it, is by trying to say that I'm an actor, I'm a plant, that I'm paid by the Republican Party to, you know what I mean? That it's a scripted campaign, that I was hired.
Let's clear that up right now. Are you paid by the Republican Party to do this? Were you paid?
I am paid by no party whatsoever at this point. No, literally at this point. Well, no, okay. So let's be completely clear about that.
Yeah.
So when I created the campaign, the campaign began to build and build and build.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I paid out of pocket to make my video. Yeah. I rented a camera, I rented studio space, and I had a couple of my buddies, run the camera, and one stood by with the script for, when I was flubbing, and he would say, no, you missed your line, your line. That was the extent of my team putting the video together. And then in terms of the campaign, as the campaign has grown, I've been literally charging everything to my credit cards, trademarking the campaign and the hashtag, hiring lawyers, getting the website built. These are all expenses that I'm paying for out of pocket. Now, I did set up a GoFundMe. It's been amazing. People have been contributing. I have definitely recouped my costs. The majority of my costs, because the trademarking it's so outrageously expensive. I had no idea how expensive it is to trademark something.
It's expensive.
Yeah, but once again, any funding that I have received has come directly from the people, from the members of the campaign.
So nice.
No, and in fact, I really haven't even heard from anybody in the Republican Party, which I find absolutely mind-blowing. So if anybody out there is listening from the Republican Party, we would sure love to have your help, because right now you've got a gay man who on his own is ushering tens of thousands of people from the left to your voting base, getting gay people, black people, minorities to wake up, leave the left, go to the right, and I would sure love to hear from you about that.
Yeah. Can we please get Tucker Carlson, Fox News, the Republican Party, like, come on, like, join this train right now. He's your new face.
Yeah. I mean,
throw money at him, come on.
Imagine how much more I could do for you if I wasn't just doing this on my credit cards.
Yes.
Love your help, guys. Would really love your help.
Yeah, I would love to hear them too. And by the way, we've got so many people in the chat rooms who are applauding you and just saying how great you are. You're amazing. How can we support you? So, so they're all asking how they can support you. So where is the GoFundMe page? Is it how can they find the GoFundMe page? Because a lot of people are asking.
Okay, well, if you go to GoFundMe and you search #WalkAwayCampaign.
#WalkAwayCampaign.
Yeah, that's you probably should find it that way, but you also can go to my Facebook page, The Unsilent Minority.
Yes.
That's the opposite of the silent majority. It's the unsilent minority.
The unsilent minority. Yeah, you all should go to his Facebook page and like it and join it if you haven't already, because a lot of the action happens on your Facebook page.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, please like and follow the page, because that's where you'll find calls to action, how you can get involved. Mm-hmm. And some of it's really simple. Look, I understand, people's schedules are busy, and for some people, they just simply are not in a position where they're able to contribute. Mm-hmm. But you know how you can help? Retweeting. Reposting on Facebook, simple little things like that. Even if you do it a couple of times a week, it's extremely helpful. But for those who are maybe in a position to be able to be a little more helpful, there is information about a GoFundMe on my page. Okay. And then I've also set up a Patreon account. And for those who are not familiar, a Patreon account is where you can make a monthly, you just give them your information, and then a monthly donation goes towards the costs of whatever needs to be done for the campaign. And literally it can be as little as $5 a month. But if we get enough people who are able to donate $5, $10 a month, and then of course you can go, please, if you want to donate $1,000 a month, I'm not going to say no. Mm-hmm. But anything like that, that's going to help, because what I really would like to do in time is to produce a lot of higher quality videos and just saturate social media with other people's stories, stories that are related to the campaign. Just get the word out on a massive level. 2, I would love to go around and do speaking engagements all across the country and get people, whether it be, like a rally or an organized public event, something where we're really getting, this is very grassroots. And I think that's what's so exciting about this. And I think that's what's appealing to people, is that this isn't something that was, designed by a large entity with a lot of funding, and they're
this was not a Soros funded social engineering project. This was like literally grassroots, which you hardly ever hear about.
Yeah, and I mean, with all modesty, I think it's one of the most exciting grassroots things ever, because it's really about it's not just about doing away once and for all with the divisive, hateful narrative and rhetoric that's coming from the left. It is about that, but it's really about growing that center and encouraging healing and communication and stability once again in America, and common sense critical thinking, getting people back to do you have any idea how refreshing it is to be on the right? And I'm talking constantly with Black conservatives, gay conservatives, female conservatives, and none of us are having conversations about like, well, you really shouldn't be saying that as a white man, and as a straight man, you should, as a straight woman, you shouldn't be talking to me. It's like we just talk to each other like we're people, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like we just have conversations like human beings, and it's so refreshing.
It must be like a breath of fresh air, right? Like you just feel more like healthy and happy and connected to the other people.
Absolutely. Well, because the other thing too is, once again, this goes back to them perpetuating narratives that aren't even true.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have problems in this country. You know, there are problems with racism still, and there are problems. You know, we need to do more as Americans to help elevate minority communities, the Black community. I mean, there are things that need to be done, that we need to work together to help these communities, and we can't do that if we can't have honest conversations.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if we're talking about improving, you know, education, our education system for racial minorities, if we're talking about getting Black people out of jail, because a lot of these people should not be in jail with life sentences for petty crimes and stuff. Yeah. I mean, we've got to fix these problems. And how are we supposed to fix these problems if we're approaching, you know, if the majority of Black people are on the left, you know, voting Democrat, and when approached are saying, well, you as a white person shouldn't even be having this conversation. Yeah. We have to have these conversations together. Yes. We've got to work together to fix these problems.
It's what I've been saying all along. It's like this isn't even about right or left or Democrat or Republican anymore. I feel like this is about truth versus lies, love and those things that promote love versus hate, or those things that promote hate, and unity rather than divisiveness. And it just so happens that most of the values on the right happen to be the truth and happen to be love. But, you know, I think people need to understand that this is about, like, if we can't even get off the topic of what bathroom we should use, or you're going to get mad at me if I don't use your correct pronoun, you know, these are the wrong problems to be focusing on. Like, how are we going to ever tackle bigger issues that Americans really need to, like rebuilding the inner cities, or, you know, healing our family, the rate of fatherlessness, you know, the problems that you mentioned, those are real problems that are measurable, that we can actually we should be able to get behind, but work together on, and then support the president's mission to make America great again, because a lot of his policies really will restore America if we can get behind them. But we're never going to be able to do that if we can't even have a conversation with, you know, oh, you used the wrong pronoun. Like, okay, wrong problems, you know, totally wrong problems.
Wrong problems. But I mean, I think that's, you know, this is all sort of, you know, trickled from the top down. I mean, I guess that's sort of the point of it, right? Is to kind of create this atmosphere where, you know, people on the right or conservatives are not even allowed to suggest common sense solutions to problems, because the idea is that you're not even supposed to be a part of this conversation anyway, because of, you know, the horrible victimization and oppression that the gender fluid, gender queer, you know, non-binary two-spirit community is going through right now, whatever that is.
Yes, the non-binary demi-boy. Pan-gender.
Those beleaguered demi-boys.
Yeah. And then there's a two-spirit. Like, come on, are you even a human being? Two-spirit.
No, it's ridiculous. It is just absurd.
So we've gone over our time. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know that we've had a lot to say, but do you have time for maybe one question from the crowd?
Of course, I would love to.
Okay, great. So we'll take one or two questions from you guys. Sure. That a lot of questions and comments have been pouring in, but a lot of love. You've got to read the comment section later today, because there's a lot of love that is just pouring in for you, and a lot of support.
I love love.
Yes. I love love too. One person says, are you experiencing a lot of censorship, or do you feel like there's been attacks on you? Has anyone threatened to censor you or anything?
Okay, so
because a lot of people, I'm kind of worried too that Twitter or Facebook might pull a fast one on you, and you know, censor you.
Well, I'm concerned about that as well. But we do, so far, nothing of any real devastating consequence has happened. I will say there are times that I'm receiving messages from people saying that, you know, I've tried to share your video and Facebook won't let me, or I have shared your video but people can't see it. I tried to open your page, but it couldn't open today. So there are things like that, you know, I don't know, is it a technical glitch, or is there something going on here? But I will say they haven't shut the page down, which is amazing.
Good.
And as things are right now, we are in the works of rolling out the second version of our website, which is going to be much more lush and substantial than what we currently have now, which is just like, we kind of just wanted to get something up. So we put up just kind of like a quick kind of WordPress thing. Okay. And we're building the new website, which hopefully will be complete in a couple of weeks. and if I have it my way, all of the testimonial videos and whatnot you'll be able to find on the webpage, and then no one can get us at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for the time being, it hasn't been too bad, I don't think.
Okay.
Although, and then also people who do social media analytics have gotten in touch with me and told me that the hashtag walk away has been one of the top trending hashtags on Twitter. Somebody told me it was the number 3. Somebody told me it was the number 2, but it's never showed up in Twitter's trending hashtags.
Yeah, it never shows up.
And they list 20. And it's never been on the list. So
it's insane. So, and what do you feel, what are you hoping is the future of this? And I just want to make it clear too, that you are not at this moment in time yet, you've not been in partnership with Candace Owen or Charlie Kirk or anything. So your movement, Walk Away, is different from their movement, although it's very similar. But at this moment in time, you're still on your own with this.
I'm on my own, yeah. So I haven't, as I said, I haven't had anybody reach out to me yet to ask me if we could elevate this to the next level and, you know, participate in maybe sponsorship and I would love that, by the way, if anyone's listening. I would love to talk to somebody who might be able to provide us some substantial backing because, you know, and I'm totally open to hearing other people's ideas too. I mean, I'm sure there are directions that this movement could go that I haven't even thought of. But that being said, I do have some of my own ideas for where I would like to see this go. I can't do it all on my credit card. Yeah. So, you know, I would need...
Donate to this man.
So to see it go in the direction that I would love to see it go, I would love, you know, if we could get some sponsorship. But, you know, to answer your question, you know, for the immediates, I would like to see it just continue to grow and grow. At this point, we're getting about 3,000 to 4,000 new members a day. Most of these people are coming on and leaving testimonials. I want to see people continue to create videos because
videos, you know, guys, create your videos. You're going to see my video this week. I'm going to create it.
Please, thank you. Yeah, and you have to post it on the hashtag Walkaway campaign page.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing. Some people are making their own videos and they're putting them on YouTube or they're like putting them on Twitter, and I'm like, well, that's you know. So you can do that, but you also need to put it on the page so that we have them all collected. Because that's the awesome thing, is when you can just see them all there and you can go click and watch whichever ones that you want to watch. But I want to see that continue to grow and grow. I want people to continue to make more and more videos. I have some ideas from an artistic standpoint of things that I would like to do to create some sort of artistic content that I think will help further the movement itself, and I think really sort of represent the movement in a really, really heartfelt and touching way. Once again, I was jogging, and I came up with this idea in my mind, and I had tears streaming out of my eyes because I came up with the perfect idea for the Walkaway campaign theme song and kind of like a promotional video that we could make to go with this song. So, you know, there are a lot of ideas I have to grow that, and then where the movement will ultimately end up in a year or two, I wouldn't even venture to guess right now, because on a day-to-day basis, I'm having new people reach out to me, and then it's like shifting my idea. I was like, wow, this new person just came into my life with this new idea, and now all of a sudden that seems like the coolest. That, like, let's build on that.
Yes.
That's cool. I couldn't even begin to guess, you know, but I hope that this ends up being, you know, a really, really, truly revolutionary movement for America. I hope that we're able to completely sway the midterms. I hope that we're able to completely sway the 2020 election.
Yes.
And by that, I mean, we have got to put a stop to, I mean, as far as I can tell right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something. The only narrative that I can see, or the only platform that I can see coming out of the left right now, is we hate Trump.
Yes.
We want to impeach Trump, and we only care about illegal immigrants.
Yes.
And I can't put my finger on anything else that any message of hope, any message of advancement for America. Like, what do they stand for? I can't figure it out.
There's none of that.
It's just rage, anger, hostility, contempt, hatred. We hate Trump, and we love illegal immigrants.
Yes.
And this is not a platform. Are you done? Are we finished? Did you leave?
No, we're not done. I just had to throw my charger in real quick. My charger. I just realized it was like almost.
Well, fine. I'm just gonna get on Twitter then. Like, listen.
Okay.
I can ignore you too. Two can play this game.
Okay.
I'm
like
so,
the last thing I want is it to my laptop to just die in the best part of the interview.
No, I understand. No, so yeah. So I mean, we cannot allow these people to win. We cannot allow them to win. A friend of mine said something a few months back, and it's like it has just stuck in my brain because every once in a while somebody says something to you, and it's so simple. It's like the most basic thing, but it's absolutely chilling.
Yes.
He said to me, "These people cannot be allowed to ever get power again.
Yeah.
Because if they get power, it will be the definitive affirmation that the truth no longer matters."
Yes. Wow.
And I just found that absolutely chilling because it's absolutely true. What they have done for the last 2 years is create a campaign of pure, unadulterated hate. And it's been based entirely off of lies and falsehoods.
Yes.
And if they're allowed to win and regain power, it will be a complete affirmation that that's absolutely fine, that that's okay, that we as Americans stand by that if you don't like somebody or you don't like somebody, if you don't like something or you don't like somebody, you are allowed to lie about them. You are allowed to assassinate their character. You're allowed to completely make up anything that the end totally justifies the means.
Wow.
And that the truth no longer matters.
It's so true. Those words are so powerful because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. I don't know how these people can't see it, but you're right. I mean, we as a nation do not stand for that. We don't stand for lies and, this disgusting, immature, sadistic behavior too that they're engaging in and that they say is okay. Saying that Barron Trump, should be raped by pedophiles and, the Kathy Gifford, with the head. I mean, these things are like
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin.
It wasn't Kathy Lee Gifford.
Kathy Lee Gifford. Kathy Griffin. Like these things, like we cannot tolerate this as the country, and the left just continues to tolerate and be like, "This is great. This is great." I'm sorry, but it's like this is as a country we should be able to say no to this, but here we are arguing about this.
It's like, we can all probably agree that Roseanne's tweet wasn't great. I think we all kind of agree on that, right?
Yeah,
but it's like
what she did, what happened to her was terrible. It was way uncalled for.
Well, it's like, she made a reference to a character in Planet of the Apes, and she gets the #1 show on television gets pulled. Yeah. Peter Fonda literally says, "Let's stick a child in a cage with pedophiles, and so he can be raped." And no one on the left announces it. They still release his movie.
Yeah.
It's like we're living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we are in the Twilight Zone. We are absolutely in that. Up is down, good is bad, bad is good.
But the walkaway campaign is going to change all of that. So
yes. Yeah.
Have faith, America.
Have faith.
Yeah.
We will make America great again and make love great again.
Yes. All you needed all along was just one gay guy from New York.
Yes.
Listen, everybody, I'm going to fix all of this. Don't worry.
The gay man will fix everything.
Yes. As we always do.
Yes, of course. Well, Brandon, it's been amazing. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show, and we've gotten such great feedback from the chat rooms. They love you. They don't want to go, but unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up. So everyone, make sure you go to the Facebook page, U.S. Minority, and go to his Walkaway Campaign Facebook page. Donate to his campaign, his GoFundMe, and make your testimonial video. And then, of course, spread the word so we can get this as far as wide. And this could be the true cultural game changer that I know it is.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
What she said.
I'm with her.
Yeah, I'm with her. Right.
Well, would I be someone that you can wear that T-shirt for? I'm with her.
If it has your picture on it.
Yeah.
You're so pretty. I would love to wear a T-shirt with your face on it that says I'm with her. Have that T-shirt made, and I will wear it constantly.
Okay, proudly. And I'll have a T-shirt with your picture on it saying, "I am not walking away from this."
I love it.
Okay, thanks so much, Brandon. We'll be in touch, okay? Because I'm going to support you.
This was awesome. I had such a good time talking with you. Thank you.
You too. I'll send you the link after.
Sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, darling.
Bye. Okay. Hey guys, I am back, but we have gone a little bit over, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up shortly. How's everyone doing? You guys still hanging in there? Thanks for sticking with us in this long show. Don't let the media take you down. Yes! Yeah, you guys are awesome. I cherish that moment when all the feminists looked in the sky and scream and cry when Hillary lost. Oh, I did too. I did too, trust me. That was a great day. The day that Trump won, I was walking on air, I felt like. The whole next day, I was just felt like I was on a cloud. Cloud 9, that is. Well, guys, it has been amazing. It's been real. And, oh, here's my other room, by the way. Where's my other room? This is just the walk away, his walk away tweets over here. Just a little slideshow. This is my Patriot room. Do you guys like my Patriot room? You guys are so funny. Well, thank you guys all for coming on the show. Thanks for letting us go a little bit over time. What I always do on my show is I end with a prayer, because we have a lot of negative news that we talk about sometimes and the crazy lunacy of the left and the world. So I like to end with a closing prayer just to make sure that everyone has their protection around them, that we create a cloud, a strength, a circle of protection and love around us, and that all of you guys are protected. So that's what I like to end with, and that's what I'll end with today. Thank you all for joining me. Dear Lord, I pray that more women and men see the light and can open their hearts to love instead of hate, can open their hearts to unity rather than divisiveness, can open their minds to truth rather than lies. I pray for love and protection for our great President Trump and his family and all those working for us, that they remain safe and resilient in the face of so many forces working against them. I pray for all of you and the truth warriors of the world who are courageously speaking the truth and boldly working to bring those who are in the darkness into the light. Put on the full armor of God, for you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places. I pray that all of you find true and lasting love, and that God puts an incredible partner in your life to be with you during this journey and bring you all the blessings, the love, and the family that you deserve. And lastly, we know that good conquers evil, that love conquers hate, and I pray that together and with God's help and grace, we're able to make our country and our world great again. Amen. All right, guys, this concludes our show, Make Love Great Again. It's been great having you. Thank you so much. And again, I always broadcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.